One person is dead. Another has been charged with arson after a fire in Massena yesterday afternoon. 7 News reporter Thomas Caffarella has the latest, including home surveillance video showing what could be seen and heard as the fire broke out.
Security camera footage from across the street. You can hear sirens and screams and see smoke rising from an apartment building on Center Street in Massena Wednesday. While damage to the building was minimal, according to the Massena Fire Department, District Attorney Gary Pasqua telling 7 News one person died in the fire.
There was one fatality that was discovered while responding to the fire.
The investigation went late into Wednesday night. First responders were on scene along with the New York State Office of Fire Prevention and Control. Pasqua tells 7 News an arrest has been made. Darren Kelly, charged with second-degree arson. Pasqua not saying where Kelly is from or his relationship with the person who died. We spoke with a neighbor who didn't want to be identified, who described what she saw Wednesday.
I pray I never witness anything like that again. And I'm having a hard time getting that vision out of my head.
Thursday afternoon, police tape was gone. People were allowed to go back as early as 2 o'clock this morning. Many questions about this case, including the motive and if the person who died because of the fire, or if the fire was started to allegedly cover something up. District Attorney Gary Pasqua says more information will come out later, and the investigation continues. Thomas Caffarella, 7 News.